Hello guys and welcome back to the channel, doing a Europa League talk today, going into Europa League and Europa Conference League, telling you who I think is going to go for the next round. And this is the fixtures this week. Feyenoord versus Roma, which is a huge game, especially now that Jose's gone. As I said, we've already gone through this a couple of months ago, but things change, you know, situations change, and that's why I'm going through it this week as well. So we can go back from my early predictions and see where we've gone different. Feyenoord versus Roma, Milan versus Rennes, Lens versus Freiburg, Young Boys versus Sporting, Benfica versus Toulouse, Braga versus Karabag, Galatasaray versus Sparta, Prague, I believe that is, and Shakhtar versus Marseille. And going through, I believe it will be, I think Feyenoord are going to beat Roma. I think now that Jose's gone, Roma won't be as strong in the competition. I thought that'd be a real force to reckon with Jose, but now they've not got Jose, I think Feyenoord will come out on top. It's been, you know, that was the Conference League final from a couple of years ago, I think it was. And yeah, I think Feyenoord will come out on top. Milan versus Rennes, I think Milan will come out on top in that game, simply because they are just a better team right now. Lens versus Freiburg. It's going to be a close game. This be you know, people might not rate this one, but it could go either way, and I do think it's going to go Lens' way. I think Lens has been a better team over the past couple of years to push it over Freiburg. Sporting to beat Young Boys. Young Boys always do decently in these European competitions, but never get really that far into them. So yeah, Sporting to beat them. I originally had Toulouse to beat Benfica, but the season's changed. Benfica, they're just going to take it, I think. Braga to beat Karabag, Galatasaray to beat Sparta, and then Shakhtar to beat Marseille. I changed that round as well. That would leave us with Feyenoord to go through, West Ham to go through, Milan to go through, Brighton, Rangers, Lens, Sporting, Atlanta, Benfica, Liverpool, Braga, Villarreal, Galatasaray, and Slavia Prague. I'm missing Shakhtar and Leverkusen there as well. I think that leaves you with a tournament favourite still being Leverkusen. They've been incredible this season under Xabi Alonso, and I think you all know that, how well Xabi Alonso is doing it at Leverkusen right now. Unbeaten this year, crazy stat that is. And I think they're going to take it. Obviously Liverpool have that Klopp leaving factor, they're going to push as hard as they can in that competition, but I think Leverkusen are going to stand in their way. And I think you're going to see, who do you reckon you're going to see here? We'll see West Ham get far, Milan will get far, Liverpool will get far, and Leverkusen get far. That's the four teams I'm giving the biggest chance to in this tournament. I think Brighton will drop off just for the games. They're just, the amount of injuries they've had this season, I just don't think it's going to go well for them. I think Atalanta's going to give it a good fight, Benfica will give it a good fight, Galatasaray will give it a good fight. They've got a lot of good players right now. But I think those four that I named there, West Ham, Milan, Liverpool and Leverkusen, are going to push for it hardest. West Ham because they want to keep that European status. Liverpool because they want to send Klopp on a high. Leverkusen because they've been playing so well. They've been unplayable this season. And then Milan because, let's face it, it's Milan. So yeah, that is how I feel the Europa League is going to go. Them four teams are going to be higher than most, which is good for us English teams because it means, you know, West Ham, Liverpool getting that final competition will do as well for the coefficients. But obviously, with my predictions so far on my Champions League one, if you've watched that, being Bayern to win the Champions League, Leverkusen to win the Europa League, it'll be very good for the German teams as well, getting an extra coefficient spot. Onto the Europa Conference League, and we're going to see Sturm Graz versus Bratislava, Servette versus Ludogorets, USG versus Frankfurt, Real Betis versus Zagreb, Olympiacos versus Fenerbahce, Ajax versus Bodo Glimt, Molde versus Legia Warsaw, and Ghent versus Maccabi Haifa. And my decisions on this haven't changed much. I still feel like Sturm Graz are going to beat Bratislava, Ludogorets are going to beat Servette, USG are going to beat Frankfurt. That's going to be a really close game though. Frankfurt have made some good transfers in this last window. But I still feel the project at USG is better than the project at Frankfurt right now. Frankfurt, prove me wrong, Frankfurt. Real Betis, obviously a much better team than Zagreb. Olympiacos, better team than Fenerbahce. Ajax, they've had a struggling season, but they'll beat Bodo Glimt. I can't see it going another way. Bodo Glimt, you know what, they've been showing up a lot more in Europe in recent years, but I think Ajax is still a better team. Legia Warsaw to beat Molde. And the state Maccabi Haifa's in, Ghent is going to beat them. I guess there's only two. These teams staying in the tournament: Sturm Graz, Ludogorets, USG, Real Betis, Olympiacos, Ajax, Legia Warsaw, Ghent, Lille, Maccabi, Tel Aviv, that is, Victoria Pleasant, Club Brugge, Aston Villa, Fiorentina, PRK and Fenerbahce, which is, you know, it's quite an interesting set of teams. It's a bit all over, I would say. I'd say the four favourites when you look at it on paper right now are Villa, Lille, Ajax and Real Betis. Fiorentina are probably up there as well, Olympiacos up there. So I like the project at USG as well. And Fenerbahce, you can't ignore they've got some good players. So I feel like it's going to be a struggle for... Right, let's talk about who'd be a struggle for. Sturm Graz, going to be a struggle to win this tournament. Ludogorets be a struggle. Olympiacos, maybe a struggle. Legia Warsaw, Gen, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Victoria Pleasant, Club Brugge. These teams are going to struggle, and PAOK. But it will be a nice fight between them 6 teams. Fiorentina, Fenerbahce, Villa, Lille, Ajax and Real Betis. Them 6 teams are going to push for it real hard, but I still think that Aston Villa are going to take it. But they have been showing a few signs of they're able to slip up. So if Villa don't win it, I'm going to throw. I think Real Betis will. I think Real Betis have made some good signings, and I think if Villa don't win it, Real Betis are going to be the one that catch it. And you know, the Spanish clubs love winning these type of tournaments. So let's look at it. As I said in my last video, Champions League, I still think it's going to be Bayern Munich. Europa League, Leverkusen, I still stand by it, and Conference League, Aston Villa. I got to stand by these guns, and I think those are the best teams in each of them competitions. They can prove it as well. I guess it's now to sit and wait and see how them games go, and we'll review this again coming in March after the second round of Europa League games and the Europa Conference League games, but after the first whole round of Champions League games. But that is the video, guys. Let me know who you think is going to win the Champions League, Europa League and Conference League, because I'm interested in knowing who you think is going to win it. And let me know what you think of my predictions as well. Thank you for watching, guys. If you like the video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more, subscribe, because there is always more on its way. Cheers.